5, 6 notes are really short, so go ahead and then pause it here and fill in the blank. So we're talking about simplest form of fractions, which we've already done before. We just haven't spent an entire topic on it, but we did use it a lot for ratios. For writing fractions in simplest form, you have to find the greatest common factor, or just the largest number that can go into both, and then you divide numerator and denominator by that number. So there's a couple things to know that it's already in simplest form. If the top number and the bottom number are 1 digit apart, which I'll have an example of in the bottom, but if the numerator and the denominator are 1 digit apart, then it's already in simplest form. And also, if the numerator is the number 1, then it's already in simplest form. So for example, if I were to give you the fraction 7, you need to write these down. If I were to give you the fraction 7/8 and tell you to put it in simplest form, could you do it? Is there a number that goes into both of those? And then the answer is yes, there is a number that goes into both of those, but the answer is 1. And so because of this rule right here, it's already in simplest form. 7 and 8 are only 1 digit apart. So it's already in simplest form. If I were to give you the fraction 1 over 10 and ask you to put it in simplest form, well, it's already in simplest form because of this rule right here. Oops. If the numerator is 1, which in this case the numerator is 1, then it's already in simplest form. You can't reduce that anymore because the only digit that will go into both of those is 1. And if you were to divide both by 1, you would get the same exact thing. Let's see. Oops. If I were to give you 32 as my numerator and 36 as the denominator, this one you can reduce. They're both even, so you should start off with knowing that since they are both even, 2 can go into both of them. And if you ever can't find the greatest common factor, you can start dividing by smaller numbers, and you'll eventually get to the simplest form. It just might take more steps. However, you should be able to look at these and know that the biggest number that will go into both of them is 4. So if you divide both by 4, 32 divided by 4 is 8. And then 36 divided by 4 is 9. And now this is in simplest form, and it's also 1 digit apart, which is a good way to know that it's in simplest form. 15 over 20 is the last example. And this one's easy. You should be able to look at 15 and 20 and see that 5 both go into both of them. So if you were to divide this by 5, remember you have to divide the numerator and denominator by 5. And you can't divide numerator and denominator by a different number. So divided by 5, that gives you 3 as the new numerator, and then 4. So again, 1 digit apart, they're in simplest form.